Hi everybody. Well, made it to North Carolina, and you can see in the back there I got some chestnuts. So I'm going to be planting chestnuts in the Blue Ridge Mountains. Probably the first time they've been there maybe in over 100 years. So, little construction, not a bad drive, and ready to spend a full day restoring the chestnuts to a very small, select portion of the Blue Ridge Mountains. Anyway, here we go. So here's the update from the property, and we'll start at the bridge that goes to the trail system, and I'm going to show you in this video the meadow area near the stream. We're going to go up about halfway up on the property. I'll show you what I've planted, and then I'll come back this afternoon and do the top portion that I planted, and that should be your update. So here we go. You need to see a bear. Anyway, as you can see, I've kind of weed-eated this little area just to give it an idea of what we might have in the future. Right over here is where the deer are bedding. Not this time of year apparently, but when that grass grows higher, they like that little thicket. And remember, this is an old farm, so all this was manipulated the ground at one time. But I've weed-eated this little pathway, which will probably be grown in by the time I come back in May with Audrey. And this is the old maintenance road for the farm. It's not used for vehicles anymore. So you can see from here I've made some plantings of some rhododendron. I made cuttings with those, and then I've planted the chestnuts in 2 groups of 3. So we'll go see the chestnuts first. Some stones I've put in, which I gotta improve, but they're pretty firm now. This trail will be improved at some point, but more people that walk on it, it'll improve itself. Vegetation's coming back really heavy. Ferns and all kinds of bushes and things. Very heavy. So here's the first group of plantings. These are rhododendron. I used root hormone. Watched the old the YouTube channel. You can see there's a spider in that one. I don't know what it's doing. That's kind of neat. And I cut the cuttings the way it says to cut them on YouTube. And you know, you gotta trust everything on YouTube. There's 3 of these. And they look okay. Oh, there's another spider on that. That's so strange. They're probably killing them. And come back up this way, you can see some of the rock against the trail, which is one of the reasons I put the trail in here. It's just kind of neat to see rock next to the trail. Here's the 3rd one. And there's another spider on that. That is the same type of spider. 2 of them. Huh. And I marked everything with a red stake. The holly are growing. You can see the new growth on the holly. So these are growing up pretty big. I'm 5'8", so they're probably 5 foot tall now. And some other stuff, I just don't know what this type of thing is. But it's native, I'm sure, and it's taller than me, so that's staying. Holly lines the trails. Get some, I guess, lichen maybe. I don't know if it's lichen, but I like that growth. It's very green. And then we head over here to the chestnuts, which you've heard so much about. You saw me plant the seedlings and they survived. And I created these little barriers for them. Used stakes and wire ties. And I've been watering them for 3 days now. On Tuesday this coming week, there's supposed to be a significant amount of rainfall, so that's good. Here's more lichen on the trail. Just kind of neat to see. Beautiful stuff. I try not to walk on that. And so then we go back in here. It's off the trail now. Here's another example of how I put these in. So basically I dug a hole and put the seedling in. Buried it carefully, preserved the roots. I used rooting hormone and keep it watered. And they all look like they're gonna grow. Some look a little better than others. This is a bigger one. Put mulch at the bottom. And I'm hoping the deer stay out. These are actually pretty solid. And there's the old picnic table, the umbrella my mom and dad are sitting at now. Future house will be up this way. And let me show you one other thing I planted a couple months ago with Karen. And that's these rhododendrons. They've flowered and they've all got tons of growth on them. So that's really good. And the idea here is to add a boundary to this piece of property with natives. And that's what we're doing. And these things are going to be beautiful when they grow and flower. And there's new growth on all of them. Hopefully the deer leave them alone. So that's the first part of the trail. We go back to the trail. We'll do a little more videoing. Chestnuts were easy to put in. The ground was a little more softer than I thought. Not a lot of rocks. So there's more holly. And this stuff is everywhere. And the trail up here looks pretty good. It doesn't even really need improving. I took a weed eater to it. Give you an idea, we are right above the area we started the video out. That's near the creek, that little area I weed eated. Came up that trail and then zigzagged all the way up. Oh, it's kind of neat. You can see the stream from here. Okay, so this portion of the video we're starting at, and that's where the car's parked. And the property basically starts there and ends over here. So all these trees are coming in. I'm gonna wide angle. They're coming in. We did lose a pine tree, probably during a windstorm or something, but thanks to my brother, I have a chainsaw coming. And so I'll have some fun things to do in the future here. Not necessarily clearing all the fallen trees, but a few of them. A few of them that are alive and standing will be good for woodpeckers. Anyway, so the chestnut trees on this side that I planted 3 of them here. One is in this corner. Here's one of them. And again, I dug a pretty good hole. They were still kind of bare root, but as you can see, they've all sprouted leaves. You can see it from the bottom. And they're all pretty good shape. I'm pretty pleased so far. They don't look like they've been shocked too much. Got my deer fence on, which is kind of tied in to those stakes, so A bear could knock it down, but I don't see a bear chewing up chestnut seeds. And this is an area that gets a lot of light, so hopefully they won't burn up, but they will thrive in this area. You can see all the varieties of vegetation coming up this time of year. Hopefully some of these will grow into larger trees. Here's the other chestnut tree. Again, same design. Dug the hole, put them in, used root hormone, and it's pretty close to the road. There's the Jeep. And there's the other chestnut that I put in. So standing on a future front porch would look something like this, looking into the west. And there'll be a wall of color there during the fall. That's all going to fill in during the summer and create a barrier. So it'll look like, hopefully you're walking back 100 years into the past to a cabin. Anyway, that's the update on the chestnuts and some property. I did find a couple things, by the way, while I was here, aside from things like maple trees that are growing. Hopefully they'll grow in places that'll be okay. Looks like we may have pawpaw trees. Yeah, look up pawpaw, P-A-W, P-A-W. I've marked them. As I see things, I'm marking them up here. I'll probably end up having to transplant these to a location that's more towards a barrier on the property. I see a thing on this phone on this end.